How to convert to Buddhism. Lord Buddha provided clear and simple instructions on how to become a Buddhist. The process involves taking the 3 refuges from a qualified Buddhist teacher, monk, nun, or senior practitioner. If none of these are available, you may take the refuges on your own. The 3 refuges are: I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. I take refuge in the Sangha. You repeat each refuge 3 times. Congratulations, you are now a Buddhist. You may also request a Buddhist name, though it's optional. While not mandatory, having a teacher or spiritual friend, in person, is highly encouraged, as it lies at the heart of Buddhist practice. You are now a student, expected to study and practice. Your first teacher may not be your lifelong guide. Over time, you may find a teacher with whom you share a deep karmic connection. When that happens, you can reaffirm your refuges with them in a more formal way. Taking the refuges offers spiritual protection and comes with certain obligations. These include respecting the sacred objects, teachings, and followers of other religions. While debating or critiquing other religions is acceptable, you must avoid hostile reactions when Buddhism itself is criticized. As the Buddha taught, respond peacefully. If the criticism is true, acknowledge it. If it is not, simply say it is not. There are actions that can nullify your status as a Buddhist, requiring you to retake the refuges after consulting your teacher. These include taking refuge in another deity or path. For example, if you explicitly take refuge in God during a church service, you are no longer a Buddhist. Participating in other religious activities, like singing hymns, is fine, as long as you don't intend to take refuge in their teachings. Violating the 5 precepts at their minimum level. These precepts are: not taking life. Deliberately killing a human being, including yourself, breaks this precept. For example, Thai lay followers who join the military temporarily return their refuges and precepts to their teacher, acknowledging that killing in war is a non-Buddhist act. Not stealing. Deliberately taking something essential to another person's life. Not engaging in sexual misconduct. This includes rape, adultery, pederasty, or enslaving someone in a way that destroys their life. Consensual relationships, including LGBTQ+ ones, are not prohibited. Not lying. Deliberately telling a lie that destroys another person's life. Not consuming intoxicants. Avoiding alcohol or drugs in a way that leads to the death of yourself or others. Some interpret this strictly, abstaining entirely, while others allow moderate consumption. The 5th precept is often expanded to include drugs, though the original texts focus on alcohol. Intoxicants that destroy mindfulness are discouraged. In some traditions, 10 precepts are followed instead of the standard 5. These include additional guidelines on speech, such as avoiding harsh, slanderous, or frivolous speech, and refraining from encouraging hatred, desire, or ignorance. As a Buddhist, you are also advised to avoid certain trades, such as dealing in arms, dealing in living beings, such as slave trading, dealing in flesh, such as butchery or farming practices that involve killing animals, selling intoxicants, selling poisons intended to harm others. These guidelines are rooted in the intention to avoid harm and preserve life. Becoming a Buddhist means committing to the path toward enlightenment. Your teacher will help design a practice tailored to you. Ensure your teacher is qualified by researching their background and consulting other Buddhist communities. You can progress at your own pace, whether through occasional visits or full-time practice. There are many forms of Buddhism, all sharing the same core principles. Choose the one that resonates with you, avoiding movements tainted by nationalism or racism. Your journey is unique, and your teacher will guide you in crafting a path that aligns with your aspirations. If you enjoy this content, be sure to subscribe, like, comment, share, and turn on notifications so you get the latest content from Enduring Buddhist the earliest.